What's the best way to discover a place in the middle of a lake? Welcome back to Italy, my friends. Today we are on Lake Garda. Sirmione has always been a popular tourist destination. Many artists and VIPs passed by and also lived in Sirmione. For instance, a young singer from USA who became a superstar here in Italy also thanks to a man from Verona, Giovanni Battista Meneghini. Probably the name doesn't sound anything to you. No, okay, no. But you have to know that this man was truly in love with her talent, her voice, her, yeah, you know what I mean. He truly believed in her, so he helped a lot, paying the rent of her flat, food, anything she might need, and she became a superstar also thanks to him. So probably no surprise for you if I'm talking about Maria Callas. Yeah, one of the greatest singers of all times. So yeah, she became a superstar. He became her co-worker, but you know, that man was from Verona, so Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare, The City of Love, and yeah, they got married in 1949 and they bought that beautiful yellow villa you can see behind me. The place where she lived the best days of her life. Okay, I know what you're thinking, but Maria Callas was popular as the sad singer. Yeah, but not here, not in Sirmione. She was truly in love with this place. The point is that in 1959 she met Aristotle Onassis, richest man on earth at the time. And so, well, Lake Garda, very beautiful. Sirmione, amazing. Giovanni Battista, mwah, great man, but big money, not that bad. E allora, that was the beginning of her decline. But this is another story, so back on the boat. And talking about beautiful villas, on the very peak of the peninsula of Sirmione, there remains of a special villa. That place is called Catullo's Caves. Catullo was a Latin poet who was born in Verona and he wrote beautiful things about Sirmione and Lake Garda. But why caves? When the Venetians came here on Lake Garda more or less 600 years ago, they found something similar to caves. You have to imagine that the peak of the promontory of Sirmione was covered in debris, sediments, vegetation, so for them just caves. But in the 50s of the last century, the archaeologists, they started to think that caves here in Sirmione, quite strange. So they dug a little bit and they understood that caves were actually arches of a very big villa. So they dug everything and they discovered the remains of the biggest Roman villa in northern Italy. And right there, the most popular beach in Sirmione is called Jamaica Beach. You know, the water is not deep all around the peak of the peninsula, the sun is high in summer, beautiful colors, Caribbean Sea, Jamaica Beach. But this is not the real reason of the name. Guys, pirates from the Caribbean is just a legend. Pirates, they were historically in the Mediterranean area, including Lake Garda. So in the 50s, 60s of the last century, the southern part of the lake was the set of many movies about pirates. And right there, in the 70s, they recreated a fake Caribbean beach. They placed palm trees, ships, pirates, and they named the place Jamaica Beach. And they shot the first movie, Pirates from the Caribbean. But when people saw the movie, they were like, wow, cool adventures, pirates, and so on. But there is a Roman villa in Jamaica. What's happening in this movie? So the movie was not a success, but the set was used to create the first amusement park in Italy, Pirates from the Caribbean. What? Johnny Depp? Ma va là, va, va. Can you see bubbles here? This is a hot spring. Lake Garda is the only place in Italy where you can find hot springs inside the lake. If you dive, you go 20 meters down, the water is 69 Celsius. So the mountain behind me was a volcano. The volcano is asleep. All this area, no. So you have to imagine water, rain, snow, seeps in the terrain, goes more than 2 kilometers below sea level, gets rich in minerals, therapeutic, thermal properties, and gushes out of Sirmione after 20 years. So we collect thermal water from here where you see the yellow building down there, and from right there to many hotels and the oldest hot springs in Italy. but 69 Celsius of course is too hot. We need to cool down. So when you see a lot of people right there, it's because to cool down the thermal water, they pour it back into the lake. That means free hot springs for everyone. The castle of Sirmione, built 750 years ago by the Della Scala family. This is an amazing castle, the typical medieval castle. On the boat you have the chance to admire the castle and the dock of the castle from a privileged point of view. And you also have the chance to pass under the two former drawbridges of the castle on the boat to complete the tour. So yeah, you are going to pass inside the castle on the boat. Oh, that was close. And if you want to know more about the castle, in the description of this video you find the link to that video.